Sorry, Prabhu.
But often the term akhyata is used to refer to the finite verb which ends in the akhyata pratyaya. In the Paninian system, sup is the equivalent term for the swadis, and ting is the equivalent term for the akhyatas. There also, the term sup is commonly used to refer to a subanta, a declined noun like Krishna that ends in a sup. And the term thing is commonly used to refer to a thinganta, a finite verb like bhavati that ends in a thing. Thing. I think this is clear. Sup and thing. Similarly, in both systems, the terms krit and tadhita commonly refers to a kritanta, a word ending in a krit pratyaya, and a tadhitanta, a word ending in a tadhita pratyaya. Sometimes in older treatises, the term akhyata refers to the dhatu, verbal root. For example, tannam yena abhidhadati sattvam tad akyatam yena bhavam sadhatu. A nama is that with which one expresses a sattva, thing, object. An akhyata is that with which one expresses a bhava, activity. This is interesting. A nama is something which expresses a thing, object, a person. Akhyat is something which expresses a bhava, activity. And akhyata is also called a dhatu. So that was the Mangala Charana.
So
Uh,
Abhidhati, what does that mean? Is it literally expresses or is it like something else?
Yena tan nama, that is nama, yena by which sattvam, the thing is abhidhati. Abhidhan is like
It's like
is
saying or expressing or denoting, right?
yeah. I'm not getting the English word for that.
Naming.
We have abhidhanas. Dictionaries are also called abhidhanas sometimes.
Yeah. Expressing.
Oh,
Uh,
manifesting is also there. Huh? I see.
so
Yeah.
abhidhan, abhidadati. So that is nama, tan nama, by which yena sattvam, the thing is abhidadati, is expressed. And tad akyatam, that is akyatam, by which yena uh, bhavam, and abhidadati is anuvritti. There is anuvritti of abhidadati here with bhavam. Sah dhatu.
Anuvritti
Bhu,
means it is again used, is it?
yeah, the usage of this verb is repeated with this sentence also. Tad akyatam yena bhavam abhidadati.
I find it interesting that there's a. It seems like it's a passive sentence, but we don't have an atmanepada or a passive verb here because it's yena
Mm,
yena, and nama
okay.
is you
Yena
know
sattvam abhidadati.
But it is a karmani prayoga, right?
that's what I'm saying. It looks like karmani prayoga, but we don't have karmani kriya.
In the dhatu, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I see. Dhadati, I see. That's what I see.
yeah.
Bhu sanantadya dhatavah. Bhu and so on. San and sanant and so on are called dhatus. Bhu sattayam and so on. And those that end in the pratyaya san and so on are called dhatus. Now, there are two divisions in the Akhyata Prakaranam. Uh, one are uh, the bhuadi. So there are 10 classifications, 10 divisions of the dhatus.
Mm.
Vadyadadi, Juhotyadi, Swadi, Tivadi, Reva, Cha, Juhotyadish. I just forgot that. So Bhwadi, Rudhadi, Tanadi, Kriyadi, Churadi. Like this, we have 10 classifications.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Sananta, 10 sort of, we can say, pratyas, suffixes, which are added after the dhatus, the verbal roots. And then we apply the akhyata pratyas.
Mm.
So they are 10 in number. Sanam, sun, like sun, ning,
Niche is one of them.
nich, So in Harinamamrit, it's only ni,
I
not
see.
nich. So like that, san, ni, kyang, and so on.
So when you add to the dhatus, they again become the dhatu. The sun.
Yes, they just carry a different meaning. For example, san kriyachayam. The pratyaya san is
Figurative, yeah.
used in the sense of desire to do that activity. So if I say like shushrusha,
Mm-hmm.
shushrusha has this pratyaya san in it.
Yeah,
So
desiring to hear,
desiring to hear, or it
to
also means
serve.
desiring to serve.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we have the dhatu shru. Shru means shru shravane, to hear, and we add this san pratyaya, which has a particular meaning. So it becomes the one who desire to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing. Yuyutsavaha
Yeah, I was
mumukshu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jigyasu.
Jigyasu
Yeah,
also.
even jigyasu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
desiring to know.
So in this sutra, the two kinds of dhatus, primary and secondary, are referred to by listing a specimen from each group. The beginning one, I will say. Bhusattayam, the first dhatu in the dhatu patha is the list of dhatus, is an example of a primary dhatu, while sananta, desiderative, is an example of a secondary dhatu. The primary dhatus are listed in the dhatu patha. Do you have the dhatu patha?
Yeah, well, you sent it to me. I don't know if you gave it to everybody.
Maybe you can post it in the group.
Yes.
So that's very nice actually. It has the meaning and everything in it. So the primary dhatus are listed in the dhatu patha, while the secondary dhatus are formed by applying pratyas like sun and so on after a primary dhatu or nam Vishnupada. Really? Almost 2000 primary dhatus are listed in the Paninian Dhatu Patha, but many of them are repetitive or out of use. Thus, yeah, so here it is. Actually, there are two Dhatu Pathas. One is alphabetically organized,
Yeah,
and one is
I sent both of them just now.
so. Thus, Jiva Goswami, selecting the essential ones among them, has listed 1138 primary dhatus in his Dhatu Patha. The primary dhatus are divided into 10 classes named after the first dhatu in each class. So, Vadi, which starts with Bhu Dhatu, Adadi starts with At, Vadi starts with Hu Dhatu, Divadi starts with Div, Swadi starts with Su, Tudadi starts with Tut, Rudhadi starts with Rud, Tanadi, Kriyadi, Churadi. So these are the 10 primary ones. Bhvadyadadi, Bhvadyadadi Jhotyadi, Divadi Swadi Revacha, Tudadishcha, Rudhadishcha, Tanakriyadi, Churadi. As mentioned in the Vritti here, the pratyas used to form the secondary dhatus are called the sanadis. The sanadis are the pratyas san, kyan, kyang, kamya, quip, which has the sense of kyang, ani, yak, that is applied after the words kandu and so on, aya, iyam, and yang. The secondary dhatus thus formed are called sananta, kyan, anta, kanganta, and so on. The number of secondary dhatus that can be formed by applying these pratyas after a primary dhatu or nam Vishnupada is practically unlimited, and thus the secondary dhatus are not listed in the dhatu patha. So because these are the moon dhatus, 11 and
Mm-hmm.
1138, if we apply these pratyas after all of them, so it will be a great list. So they just didn't give it. One more thing is Atha Dhatu Jani Vishnu Padani. In Nama Prakranam, the beginning, we had Atha Nama Jani Vishnu Padani, if you remember. So Vishnu Bhakti Siddham Vishnu Padam, the sutra was there.
Mm-hmm.
When we add Vishnu Bhakti to a Prakriti, it becomes a Vishnupada. So Vishnupadas are of two types,
Yeah.
Dhatu and Shabda Nama. So we had done Vishnupadas, which are formed by or through Nama. Here we are now forming Vishnupada through Dhatu.
Mm.
So Dhatu Ja, born of Dhatus. Dhatu Jani Vishnupadani. Now the Vishnupadas produced from Dhatus are going to be described. Is this clear? Bhusanantadya Dhatava.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, of course, as we move ahead, it will be more clear. Dhatuh. The word dhatuh is to be supplied in the subsequent sutras. It's anuvritti or adhikara. Okay. This is an adhikara. What is two? An adhikara sutra is a sutra that merely announces the word or words which are to be supplied in all the sutras up to a certain limit. This we had read before even. Sometimes Jiva Goswami himself specifies the limit by saying uh, this iti nivritta, such and such adhikara ends here, in the vritti of the last sutra to which the adhikara extends. But often the limit of the adhikara is left unspecified and it is up to the common sense of the reader to estimate the limit. In this case, Amrita 857 specifies that this adhikara finishes at the end of the Chakrapani Prakriya. So, so this is talking of adhikara. Did we do the definition of adhikara
Yes.
before?
Sutrani Shadvidani.
No, no, no. But we didn't have the definition there. Um, Uttara adhikarana vyapi, right?
Yeah, when we went to, I think it was in the Vritti of that sutra that he said. I think we went over it. We did it somewhere, that's for sure.
But in that one, it is not very clearly given. He just gives six. Uh,
I think he
Uttara,
quotes some verse that gives the definitions of them.
okay, here it is. Uttara prakarana vyapi adhikara.
Yeah.
So it's not adhikaran, it's prakarana. An adhikara sutra provides the following section. Uttara prakarana vyapi adhikara. There are actually four kinds of adhikaras due to the divisions of purva, nimitta, and so on. In that regard, the karya is also of three kinds due to the divisions of sangya, vidhi, and nishedha. Thus, there are seven kinds of adhikara in total. An adhikara that includes within it two or more similar or dissimilar adhikaras is called Vasudev. An adhikara that is inside of a Vasudev and that includes within it two or more adhikaras. It's like complex adhikara, we can say. You know, we have adhikara, inside it we have adhikara, inside that we have adhikara. So, an adhikara that includes within it two or more similar or dissimilar adhikaras is called Vasudev. An adhikara that is inside of a Vasudev and that includes within it two or more adhikaras is called Vibhu. And a simple adhikara is called Prabhu. In that regard, the current sutra is a Vasudeva adhikara, but one should know that due to indicating a general relationship, Sambandha Samanya, the word dhatuho in the sutra can also take the meaning of Panchami and so on, depending on what is appropriate. Similar adhikaras means when all the adhikaras included within the Vasudeva adhikara are Vibhu adhikaras or when they are all Prabhu adhikaras. Dissimilar adhikaras means when some of the adhikaras included within the Vasudeva adhikara are Vibhu Adhikaras, while others are Prabhu Adhikaras. The four kinds of adhikaras are Prangnimitta, same as Purnimitta, Kari, Karya, and Paranimitta. Uh, in this connection, because the adhikaras are not of seven kinds here, since the divisions of Sangya and so on pertain to the Karya itself, this we had studied before.
So
Uh,
I just have a quick question. Say we say Advayam Idvay A. Now Advayam is an adhikar for the next sutras coming because it's a pranimita, or not pranimita, it's the karya or the karyi. Sorry, it's the thing that's being transformed. So it's the karyi, right?
Yeah.
And and I guess I'm mostly just asking that that's an adhikar and it's used in the next sutras. Udvaya O. We take forward that, and that's an adhikar because it's supplied previously, and we're taking it forward. Okay. I didn't know
we
that.
had that shloka there, Karyena Hanyate Karyi, Karyam Karyena Hanyate,
Yeah. Oh,
and
what
then
is it?
Karyena Hanyate Kari, Karyam Karyena Hanyate. Yachesham Anuvartate. What is the third
That's
stanza?
the final one.
Nimittam cha nimittena.
Yeah, nimittam cha
Nimittam cha nimittena
nimittena
yachesham anuvartate.
yachesham anuvartate.
So,
Yeah, I understand the process. I just didn't know that these were termed as adhikaras. So now I understand.
So, the four kinds of adhikaras are prang nimitta, karya, and paranimitta. In this connection, because the adhikaras are not of seven kinds here, since the divisions of sangya and so on pertain to the karya itself, one should understand the sangya is of a further two kinds, namely purva and avara.
Oh, he adds further complexity.
In this way, the prang nimitta, kari, and paranimitta are three kinds are three kinds of adhikaras, and the four divisions of karyas are another four kinds. Thus, the adhikaras are of seven kinds.
Initially, it started with saying it's not of seven kinds, right?
it's
It's not of seven kinds. It started, right?
it's not of seven kinds according to this. Means what was explained in Vritti.
Oh, I see.
Amrita is explaining the same thing, but in a different way. Because here Jiva Goswami said, Sangya, Vidhi, and Nisheda to be adhikaras of three kinds. But in this case, Amrita is saying the same thing, but
He's just
Amrita is
saying
saying,
sangha is also karya.
yes, so Sangya, Vidhi, and Nisheda is brought under the banner of Karya, according to Amrita.
So this is an interesting, just as a side note, what you were talking about the other day, Vijay Prabhu, that he's just politely, he's seen this and he's seen that it like logically lines up, and he's saying, oh, actually, we shouldn't take this as separate. We should just put this under the banner of Karya, even though Jiva Goswami has done that. And they're in the same lineage. He's not disparaging Jiva Goswami.
Is he saying opposite to what Jiva Goswami said here?
It's not exactly opposite, but he's saying Jiva Goswami has said that there's Sangya and three types of Karya, and then Amrit is saying actually it's just four types of Karya because Sangya is in the same category because it refers to the Karya. So he's making a polite correction.
Okay, the word Purva Nimittadi means Prang Nimittam Tathakari, Karyam Para Nimittakam. These are the four kinds referred to here. This was in the vritti of Sararamya Vishnu Sarva Vishnu Padante. So, regarding the word Sapta Vidha, seven kinds, the reading Shad Vidha, six kinds, would be more appropriate. Or else, Karya can be of four kinds by accepting that in addition to Vidhi and Nimitta, there are two kinds of Sangyas, namely Purva and Avara, Does Saptavidha make sense when we add these four kinds to the other three kinds headed by Pranimitta? The phrase Panchamyadi Artha Jnaya means sometimes it has the meaning of Panchami, sometimes it has the meaning of Shashti, and sometimes it has the meaning of Saptami. Before discussing the next 10 sutras, it is necessary to first give some preliminary information about verbal suffixes in the Sanskrit language. Interestingly, this adhikar stuff is a little complex,
Yeah.
but Sankshodhani doesn't even touch on that topic.
Prabhu, I did not fully understand. He says Prabhu Adhikara, Vibhu Adhikara. I was just confused about that, but the commentaries were going.
See, uh, like, on a simple note, what we have been doing till now was a Prabhu Adhikara. For example, Advaya Midvaya A, that was a Prabhu Adhikara because
Yeah.
Advaya was being carried forward up till the next 6 to 7 sutras.
Okay.
Now, when now above Prabhu or apart from Prabhu Adhikara, we also have
Vibhu.
Vibhu Adhikara.
What does it mean that includes two or more Adhikaras?
Which one?
It says that includes within it two or more Adhikaras is called Vibhu.
Yeah, so Vasudeva is like the broadest. Let's say we have 100 sutras, and there is an adhikara beginning at Sutra 1. Some part of the sutra which is supposed to be carried forward till Sutra 100.
Oh,
So
I
that is
see.
the Vasudeva adhikara. Now, let's say another adhikara starts from Sutra 5
Hmm.
till, let's say, Sutra 10, let's say till Sutra 75.
Okay.
And in between Sutra 5 to 75, there is another sutra from where we get an adhikara, let's say from Sutra 25 to 35.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah, got it. So like that, I was thinking the Adhikara itself will have something inside within it or something like that.
no,
Okay.
it's like that.
Yeah,
Like
now I
adhikara
understand. This
inside
is good.
adhikara. So just an example. I think this is clear.
And so it's Vibhu if it contains two Prabhu Adhikars in that section, and it's Vasudev if it's even broader, and there are Vibhus and Prabhus inside of it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really intelligent. Also, just with our terminology to understand, that's very easy to grasp. With like Vasudev, Brahma, and there's Vasudev, Vibhu, and Prabhu.
So before discussing the next 10 sutras, it is necessary to first give some preliminary information about verbal suffixes in the Sanskrit language. As explained previously in Vritti 148, the Vishnu Bhaktis are of two kinds. What is 148?
This is I think it's Namasangas Chaturvidaha. Or the Vishnu Bhakti Siddham Vishnu Padam.
Dhatu
Yeah.
Vishnu Bhakti Nama.
Oh, it's the first one, huh?
The
Oh,
Swadhis and
Adatu
the
Vishnu
Tibadis.
Bhaktikam Artavanam.
Yeah. Yes. So the Swadhis are nominal suffixes while the Tibadis are. Oh, this is wrong.
Yeah.
They should be verbal suffixes.
Mm.
Tibadi is a general term for the 180 pratyas. So in
Oh,
nouns
Krishna.
we had 21 pratyas, sumauja, samoshas, ityadi. Here we just have 180 pratyas.
Wow.
Just only 180.
Only. You can make
Simple.
something on Enki app.
I will.
That itself
But-
looks like a whole Nama Prakarana.
Yeah, just the
But actually,
pratyas.
to be frank, they're really interesting. All the 180 pratyas. Means
We'll
you will
also be
love,
taking them pretty slow, right?
yes, and actually you will love doing Akhyata more than Nama.
Jai.
So
May your words
Tibadi,
come true.
Tivadi is a
Chapter 10.
general term for the 180 pratyas. So 180 pratyas means 180 forms of one dhatu.
Yeah.
And these are just
and then there's Sananta things.
and you have Sanantas, the 10 categories. So let's say, okay, let's say
Okay, basically 1800, huh?
uh,
And then more. Oh God.
for example, you have the dhatu bhu. So by applying 180, okay, by applying 180 pratyas, you get 180 forms. Then the sanantas are of 10 kinds into 180. You get another 1800.
And then you get 2 prayogas. 3 prayogas.
Oh, no, actually, Kartari
Karmani,
and Karmani are included here.
Oh, okay. Is it?
The
But
Atmanepad, Parasmaipada and Atmanepada, they are included here in 180.
but that's not Karmani and Kartari Prayoga. Huh? You can have Atmanepada and Kartari Prayoga. And then you get
No,
Karmani Prayoga.
the pratyas are the same. We changed something in between actually.
But the forms are different, right? So you have to add that to the number of forms at the end.
Like, okay, aham karomi.
Uh-huh.
Aham karomi, maya kriyate, right?
Maya Kriye, isn't it?
Okay, maya kriye, sorry. Not,
It's okay.
it's the first
Yeah.
one. So, aham karomi, maya kriye. So, karomi and kriye, the pratyas are there itself. In
It's the
180.
same. It's the same pratyaya.
Yeah, so 1800.
And then but there's
plus-
also Kriyate, like the Atman. Oh no, yeah,
That's-
it would be the same. It would be the same in that case.
So 1800 plus 180. And then if you bring the prefixes,
Upasarga.
the upasargas, plus the dhatus, oops, and then pratyas again, then again, let's say we have 21 prefixes. So 21 into dhatu into 19. So
Why 1980?
1800 plus 180.
Oh, I see.
Because
Okay.
so 21 into 1980. So these many forms. Basically unlimited number of forms.
Luckily, it's only 400 sutras. So
There is one maxim in Sanskrit which says the meaning is dhatu nam anek arthatvat.
mhm.
Have you heard that?
There are unlimited meanings to one
Unlimited
dhatu.
meanings and unlimited forms even. So dhatu nam anek arthatvat.
So no wonder they are not using so many verbs in a single verse. It's only one word, or two.
When you read something like Bhatti Kavya and so on,
I think
So-
those are exceptions.
then it becomes difficult. Tibadi is a general term for 180 pratyas, which will be classified into 10 groups of 18 each. So these 10 groups are based upon the tenses, past, present, and future. So
Mm.
of 18 each, in each group we have 18 pratyas, 9 for the kartari and 9 for the karmani,
Mm.
each in the next 10 sutras. The 18 pratyas of each group are divided into two categories, Parapada and Atmapada. So they didn't divide in Kartari and Karmani, they divided according to Parapada and Atmapada. Which
But there will
will be
also be a Karmani Prayoga, right? Section.
Yes, the section is there actually. Section is there. Parapada and Atmapada, which will be explained in Sutras 383 to 392. Throughout the Akhyat Prakarana, the following table will be used to list the 10 groups of Tibadis and the conjugation of verbs. So this is Ekvachana, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana, Prathama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, Uttama Purusha. In English, as you know, first person is uh, in English. How do you go? Third person is
First person, second person, third person. Order is, but here third person, second person, first person.
Yeah,
in
like
English.
I is first
Uh-huh.
person. I am
Okay.
this.
Mhm.
We first that's called first person in English, and third person is they, he.
Mhm.
So it's inversed, inverted.
So in English, first person is like myself or ourselves. But in Sanskrit, Prathama, literally Prathama is
Means
first,
first. Yeah.
but here Prathama stands for the third person,
So
and
funny.
Uttama,
I never even caught that.
and Uttama stands for the first person according to the English one. So
So, what is the meaning for doing this? Like calling oneself as Uttama? It's like a best or something like
self-exaggeration, exaggeration.
we are giving importance to the third person. There is Prathama.
It's Atmashlagha dosh. I will say.
Mm.
What's Atmashlagha? Self-praise,
Self glorification. Yeah.
self-glorification. Atmashlagha dosh. But actually, in any language, Atmashlagha is authenticated because we'll do a sutra in Karaka, and there it will say Asmadartha Gaurave api Bahuvachanam, that we can use plural forms for us being singular in respect.
Oh, wow.
Like if I say aham for myself, I can say vayam even for myself. Vayam. Like even Yamraja says vayam,
Yeah. Yeah. What's that verse? It starts with Vayam.
balir vayasakir vayam.
Yeah. Bale Vayasakir Vayam.
So
No,
he's
that
only talking
Ourselves.
in the
out.
Indian languages also it exists, but they say it's out of humility, right? Yeah, instead of like, for example, Prabhupada doesn't use I. My spiritual master, he doesn't. Instead of he says our spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an English thing as well.
So
Our we.
out
The
of
royal
humility.
we, they call it.
out of
And
humility, not
whether
my.
it's out of humility or out of Atmashlagha,
Ha,
whatever, but it's authenticated.
what sense in Hindi you use like in plural for oneself?
If I say hum, in Hindi we say hum,
Yeah,
like one is मैं and one is hum. So it's just self-respect.
self-respect. Huh? I see.
Yeah, self-respect. Nowadays, very less people use it because it sounds little, uh, how do you say that? Little funny, not funny, uh, exaggerated. It looks and sounds little exaggerated. So people, they just use singular
I see.
mostly. Hum. Because
Yeah,
people,
even
they
in
don't respect themselves even nowadays. They know where they are. They know themselves better than anyone. So what respect would they give? Okay. Tatra prayo vartaman kale tibadayo ष्टादशाच्युत नामानः. Beginning this sutra, Jiva Goswami is mentioning the pratyas, the Tibadis. He's giving the names. So they are also Sangya Sutras in a sense. The 18 pratyas beginning with tip, tip, tas, anti, and so on, are generally applied after a dhatu. So this is the adhikara because we read dhatuho,
yeah.
and so this is supplied from there, brought from there. are generally applied after dhatu in the present tense, vartaman kale, and they are called achyuta. The achyuta pratyas are as follows. So in Parapada, tip tas anti, sip thas tha, mip vasmas. In Atmapada, te ate ante, se athe dve, e vahe mahe. Other calls, others call these Vartamana, some call them Lat. So now, here it is important for us to know these terms even. These are Paninian
Yeah,
terms.
that's the Paninian term, lut, lot,
And
ling,
they
vidyaling.
are used very much in the commentaries or everywhere else.
Yeah.
No one knows them as Achyuta, which Jiva Goswami says. Everyone knows them as Lat Pratyas.
So what do you remember, Prabhu? You remember it as Achyuta or Latta when you are
To be
using?
frank, I don't remember all this Lat, Lot, Lit much. I
I see.
remember them by Achyuta, but as of my experience, it would be great if we can remember both,
I see. Okay.
especially these Paninian terms.
It's only 10 of them. We're learning so many other
Hmm.
things. This is nothing. What do you mean 500 sutras? We can do another
and this
15
could
letters.
and this could easily fit on the Anki app again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So I'll stop here because uh, it will be difficult to memorize. It takes time to memorize these pratyas actually in sequence. So after we finish reciting the sutras from Shabda Prakarana, we'll resume from this sutra again.
So we have to memorize all this. It's expected to memorize all this. Tiptastanti, Tiptastas.
Yes, yes. The
I-
180
All
pratyas
180. And
by
he
heart.
gives them all in one chunk, huh? In one set of
Yes.
sutras.
Yeah, like 10 to 15 sutras, he covers all.
Hmm.
Oh,
So he doesn't let us wait, he just gives it. So we'll stop here because I don't want you to be messed up with these and the Shabda Prakarana sutras. So we'll just finish off with those and then we'll start from here again. 367. So tomorrow is Vijay Prabhu,
yes, bro.
and I'll have a stopwatch for each one of you, and let's see who does it.
Wow.
quicker.
I wish you
I
wouldn't
should-
have said anything. We should have
no,
just
that
timed
was just on the lighter side, just to create that spirit. But so, how many sutras are there?
220 or so in the Namaprakarana. 208 or 215, somewhere around there. It's 148, 144 to 362, right?
217.
217.
Yeah, 218 to 17.
Yeah.
So yes, tomorrow.
I
is
have a
Vijay Prabhu.
recording of them that takes 13 minutes to play through. So
Okay,
if it's,
so maybe you can do in 12 minutes.
no, definitely not. There will be some remembrances. If it's
Yeah.
good, 20 minutes is my guess.
20 minutes is also good actually.
That's if it's, I think if it's perfect. So we'll see.
My teacher would get frustrated because we were to recite the sutras, and every now and then we would stuck, and he would prompt to us, and how long a teacher could prompt. So at one point of time he would like, "Oh, ठीक है, बस okay, now you go." But it helped actually.
Mm,
That was in my school days. They used to tell these tables, this mathematics tables, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8.
Uh-huh.
So the teacher will ask you suddenly in between, 4 8s are, he will say, 4 8s are 32. You have to say immediately. If you don't say, he'll start beating you. With the stick. You say
I
that.
wish they would have done that to me with Sanskrit when I was young, They do it to us with math tables, like, come on.
But now it doesn't happen anymore, even to the
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
because of child protection, this and that.
Mm.
So, okay, but we won't do that here online. It's not. So tomorrow Vijay Prabhu, then Lokaram Prabhu, and then Ujjwal
No,
Prabhu.
Ujjwala is
Yes.
going.
What? You
Ujjwala
said Lokram would go on Wednesday.
No, okay, Ujjwal Prabhu is on Wednesday and Lokaram Prabhu on Thursday.
Thank you.
So, so please revise, and yes. Okay, we'll stop here. So please do
Okay,
revise.
cool.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.